Welcome to 3-week workshop in programming in C++. In this video, I am going to explain the concept of overloading relational operators in C++. So I think we know that if you want to perform an operation on user-defined data type, the operator overloading is suitable. So that the syntax for defining an operator overloading function is a return type, then space followed by operator is a keyword and followed by the operator symbol. Then if you have any operator we need, we have to implement. Okay, so then we have to define the definition of the operator symbol. Okay, so we know that there are two possible ways we are going to implement. One is using a member function as well as using a friend function. And we know that if you are it's a boolean it is a binary operator, then we need if you are implementing the value of member function, we need only one argument. But in case of binary operator, means for a friend function, we need two arguments we need. So let us we have to discuss with the help of overloading of a binary operator that is called relational operators by using with a single example. So just I'm going to just write a simple C program. Just C++ program. Just I'm going to showcase that how this binary operators, I mean that the relational operators are work within operator overloading category. Okay. So in this case, so for easy understanding, just I'm going to consider that the total mark of the students in the class, and I'm going to test and applying the different kind of the relational operator. So if you want, you can apply the different kind of the rule. That is depends on our choices. So here I'm going to create a one class that is called student. So here there are two data types, M1 and M2. I mean, so two data member and total, and also I have an average value. So average must be a float. So float average. So we know that the initialization of the data member is very, very important. So here I will go with the compile time initialization and by using a constructor logic, so that I need of a two input for performing the remaining things. So here the total means the names are the same, so that just I'm going to by using this pointer to differentiate. So the next thing is I'm going to do some calculation. So the total equal to M1 plus M2, and I'm going to calculate average. So average equal to, so the total mark divided by 2, but it is an integer. So for representing a float, I'm going to represent 2.0f. I'm going to write a function for a one member function to display the values of all the data members. It depends on the user perspective only. If you want, you can display one by one. Otherwise, no problem. That is on user convenient only. It means that according to the user expectation, you have to define. So here I'm going to display everything. So total equal to total. So see out, I'm going to define the average also. Okay, so here in a main function, just I'm going to create a one object with the two parameters. So that we need to perform some calculation, and I want to display how values of the data members. I'm going to compile, so no errors, and I'm going to run the code. So everything is a compile time, so that it display as usual. So that the average of the person is 89.5. So I am also create another one more object that is called S2, with some values I need to specify. So that I'm also to calculate the value of the second object also. Also, I'm trying to display the value of second object. So here, okay, now I'm going to test it how it will work. So you know that it is a separate object, separate memory will be allocated, and then as usual will be displayed. So now what I need to do is I'm going to compare this S1 and S2. That means that I want to test it whether S1 is a big or S2 is a big. So by using the data members, so that is our convenient. You have to choose any one of the data member to test your attribute, or maybe if you want, you can use all the attributes to test it. For example, this case S1 greater than or S2. Actually, this is the meaningless, because if you are comparing an S1 S2, surely the result must be as either true or false. So here that means that you can't return as an object as a return. So whenever you are going to overload a relational operators, always the result must be true or false. That means that in the C++ language, you have to represent a numerical representation for while comparing. So I'm going to declare one local variable. So C, and just to, I'm going to do what is the length, means that what is the value. So you know that, so according to that, if it is a member function implementation, it will be implemented like that. S1 dot and S2 will be passed as argument because it is a binary operator. So now I'm going to implement. So it is a return value, so that it is a numerical representation we need, because the C data type is an integer, then followed by the operator, then the greater than symbol, and it must be passed as argument. So S2 will be passed as argument. So here I'm going to compare by using only the total mark of the student. So that current object is S1, so total greater than S2 dot total. So then I'm going to say that return 1. I'm going to return it is a true. So otherwise, I'm going to say that return 0. So now we know the value of a 0. Means now we know that if you want, you can take a decision now. Or otherwise, but actually the decision need to be taken. So C means that we need to test the condition. S1 is greater than S2. Else, if you want, even you can test it if of C. So that is your convenient. So here I'm going to go with the 3 possible ways. S2 is greater than S1. Else, actually here another one more problem also we have. So it is a greater than. So here I'm expecting to represent 3 possible cases, so that we have to write S1. Current total. So total greater than S2. It is a less than S2 dot total. Return 0. Else return to that, because 3 possibilities. So that you have to represent that. If the value of the return value equal to 1, S1 is a greater. If the value of C equal to, you have to decide what is the value you want to return. So for the remaining case, you have to say both are equal. So S1 and S2 are equal. So if it's a relational operator, so that always it returns the relational, means that true or false. So here it will be represented by the relational operation, so that the output of the relational operators must be a Boolean, true or false. But here in C++, we don't have a Boolean representation, so that it will be represented by some numerical representation. So from there you can say that S1 is greater than S2. So in case here I'm going to change the value as 90. So then you have to say that both are equal. S2 is greater than S1. So then if you want to represent 81, so 3 marks will be reached. So instead of that, I'm going to use 88. So I'm going to compile now. Yeah, so the 0.5, so 87. So now you can compile. For this case, the total mark of both the students are equal, so that it returns as S1 and S2 are equal. So from that, we clearly understand that if you are going to use the concept of relational operators, if you are using a relational operators, always the operator functions return that it returned means that only the numerical representation for this case. So even if you want, you can apply it anywhere. Means you can define it either inside of the class or maybe outside of the class as a member function. So int operator, so then operator symbol, then student fits over. So then it is a class scope, so that we have to define with the help of class name. Now you have to combine so that just I'm going to run this program. So both are equal. So that so this is the way the concept will means that the concept of unary operator will work. So in case if you want to implement as a friend function, so if you want to implement as a friend function, so we know that there is a two object we need to pass because it is a binary operator. So that there is a small changes here. It not coming under binary operator scope. So that we are going to represent both the object as an argument. So instead, because we don't have any current object, once if you are going to implement with the help of print function, now you have to compile. Now there is no error. Then I'm going to run it. It will return as usual things. So from that, you have to understand that. So if you go with the binary operator overloading, means based on the method, the way of implementation, the compiler can decide it, what is the equivalent transition, means that equivalent statement you want to compile. So C equal to, it will be written as a greater than S1 and S2 will be forward as an argument when you are going to overload a relational operators. So means overloaded relational operators by using a friend function. But if you are using a member function, it will be operated as a dot method. So it will be decided, translated by the compiler, so that you have to go with any one of the method. Either you can go with member function method or maybe a friend function method. So this is the way we are going to implement the concept of relational operator overloadings. In case if you want to work with the equal operator case, so you can change it as equal. So according to convenient, you have to define. But actually, if you go to like C# and all, we have an object pair. But here there is no object pair and all. Just you can define whatever the operator. We know just you can define only one thing. There is no need for operator overload. Means that no pair of objects. That is not the thinking is. I mean, there is not enjoying. Sorry. There is not an important thing. Just you can specify whatever the operator we need. Just we can define it. It's enough. So this is the way we are going to implement the concept of relational overloading in our programming, so that we can apply any type of relational operators for overload. Thank you.